Good evening. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, going to be doing a double header review for this video. First off, I'm going to give my review of WWE Night of Champions, and then I'm going to transition to NXT Battleground, since Night of Champions happened first, and then NXT Battleground. So let's jump right on into it. Night of Champions took place May 27th. This was at the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The show was eh. You know, there were some good moments, but the show was eh. But yeah, let's go ahead and review it. I don't have any of the match graphics or anything like that since I didn't originally do a preview. So, just going to jump right into it. They actually opened up the show with the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament. I was kind of surprised that they did that, but it came down to Seth Freakin Rollins versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. This was an awesome match, as expected, between both of these competitors. Definitely went back and forth. They had at least a good 20 minutes. At least a good 20 minutes. I was definitely very, very happy. Went back and forth. It really could have gone either way, but I kind of figured that Seth Rollins was going to end up picking up the victory, and sure enough, he did. Picked up the victory by way of curb stomp, but definitely either one of these two would have been a great champion, but I figured it was going to be Seth Freakin Rollins. But excellent match between both these competitors. A great way of starting off. Kind of surprised, but it was a banger. It was definitely a banger. So, I can't be mad. I definitely can't be mad. Alright. Next up, we had the singles match. We had the ladies in action. We had Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Now, first off, shout out to Becky Lynch, who was sporting her Kill Bill gear to the ring. I thought that was pretty cool. Shout out to the bride / Beatrix Kiddo. This match was alright. I mean, this match was alright. Really, the only thing I have to say is the finish. The finish was kind of eh. I mean, I really didn't expect Zoe Stark to interfere personally, but Zoe Stark's in the mix and is a sidekick to Trish Stratus now. It's kind of sad because Zoe, I like Zoe, and I feel like she really doesn't need to be a sidekick. She really doesn't need to be a sidekick, but looks like she's sidekick to Becky Lynch now. It's crazy. But we'll see what happens. But Trish Stratus gets the victory in Saudi Arabia over Becky Lynch. Zoe Stark gave the assist, hit the Z360 on Becky Lynch. Pretty much, I think she got a busted nose from that. But that helped Trish Stratus secure the victory. Okay. Next up, We had the Intercontinental Championship on the line as Gunther defended against Mustafa Ali. Now, I will give them credit that at least this wasn't a squash. This actually wasn't a squash match. So I'm at least happy about that. It would have been nice if it had a little bit more time. You know, I don't think it was quite 10 minutes. It might have been 10 minutes. But felt like the match could have had a little more time. But at least it wasn't a squash. At least it wasn't a squash. So I could be happy with that. I could be happy with that. But Gunther comes away with the victory, nailing Mustafa Ali with the powerbomb and then pinning him for the 1-2-3. But Mustafa Ali had the crowd on his side, and he looked good. He looked good, but we all knew he wasn't beating Gunther. But once again, another successful title defense for Gunther. But pretty decent match. I'm just happy that Ali didn't get squashed. Okay, next up, we had the Raw Women's Championship on the line as the champion, Bianca Belair, defended against Asuka. The only thing I will say about this match, I don't have a problem with the match nor the outcome, but it should have been at WrestleMania. That's all I can really say about this match. You know, the match was cool. I was cool with it. But it should have happened at WrestleMania. Asuka should have won at WrestleMania. But Asuka, I believe now, is a 3-time Raw Women's Champion now. But yeah, she defeated Bianca Belair. She did the mist, spewed it on her hand, and then gouged her eyes while she was hoisted up in the KOD. Hit her with a buzzsaw kick, then pinned her. But Asuka is a champion again, but this should have happened at WrestleMania. She should have had her WrestleMania moment finally. But that's all I can really say about that. And then next up, we had the Smackdown Women's Championship on the line as the champion, Judgment Day's Rhea Ripley, defending against Natalya, which pretty much ended up in a squash. And it's sad that it came down to it. This was promising that there were already 3 women's matches at the show, which was very promising. But to have one in a squash like this, especially Natalya, who's a longtime veteran, honestly, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So, yeah, that was really sad that happened, and kind of unnecessary. But Rhea beats down Natalya, hits her with a riptide, covers her, bam. I'm not even so sure that match lasted a minute or two. That's all I can really say. All right, next up, we had Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes again. Honestly, it's whatever. Cody competed anyway, broken arm and all. Honestly, I really wasn't invested in this match. I really wasn't. I mean, I give Cody credit for lasting as long as he did in the first Kimura lock. But once he got jacked up some more and he got put into that second Kimura and he passed out, that was a wrap. But honestly, I didn't really care much for the match. I really didn't care much for the match. But seems like it's not over between the two. They're 1-1. There's going to be a rubber match and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I just want it to be over. And then the main event came down to the Undisputed WWE Tag Team titles on the line as the champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. I did think it was pretty cool how Sami Zayn came down and did the introduction for him and Kevin Owens in Arabic, I believe it was. So I thought that was pretty cool. But the match pretty much went how I thought it was going to go. I mean, pretty action-packed. Shenanigans. Referee down. The works, pretty much. When it all came down to it, the Usos ended up getting involved like we all expected would happen. Ended up super kicking their younger brother Solo. Roman Reigns got into the ring, started shoving Jey Uso, shoving his face. And then Jimmy Uso super kicked Roman Reigns. Jey got upset at Jimmy. And Jimmy just told him straight up, look, I'm your brother. I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. It's just me and you now. We don't need Roman. It's just me and you now. Gives Roman another super kick. You know, he falls out of the ring. The Usos end up, backing up the entranceway. And leave Solo Sikoa to pretty much eat the pin as he ate a stunner haluva kick combo. Sami Zayn gets the pin 1, 2, 3. And Zayn and Owens are still your undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Jimmy's turned on Roman Reigns, and it looks like the bloodline is indeed crumbling before our very eyes. But it was like I said before, it was eventually going to start with the tag team titles. And sure enough, now that's out of the way, it's getting down to the source. It's getting down to the source. It was only a matter of time. But the opening match, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, was my favorite match on the card. But most of this show was eh. So that's all I can really say. But that was Night of Champions. Anyway, let's switch gears to NXT Battleground. That's right, NXT Battleground, which took place the day after, May 28th, at the Tsongas Center in Lowell, Massachusetts. We had 6 matches. 6 matches total for the show. And I felt like overall they were pretty solid. Pretty solid matches. So let's get started. Okay, first off, we had a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship as the champion, Wes Lee, defended against both Tyler Bate and Joe Gacy. Awesome match. Definitely all three showcased very well. And I thought it was a pretty crazy spot seeing Tyler Bate do the airplane spin, giant swing combo with Gacy on his shoulders and him grabbing and swinging the legs of Wesley. But hey, that just goes to show you why his nickname is the Big Strong Boy. But overall, it was a very entertaining match. All three wrestlers showcased really well. But when it was all said and done, surprisingly, Wesley does it again. He does it again. He pulls through again as he was able to catch Joe Gacy in the middle of his finisher, hitting him with the cardiac kick and pinning him for the 1-2-3. And Wesley now holds the record for the most defenses of the NXT North American Championship. Congratulations to Wesley. Wesley has been a great North American champion, y'all. I dig it. The little man's been kicking butt. Been defending his title, and he's been successful. Got to give it up to him. They've really been pushing him well. So, hey, congratulations to Wesley. Great match. Great defense. You know, I can't wait to see who he squares off with next. Wesley's been doing his thing, holding strong. Still, you're NXT North American Champion. Okay. Next up, had a very special match that happened for the first time on North American soil. We have the Heritage Cup. Heritage Cup on the line as Noam Dar, the holder of the Heritage Cup, defends against Dragon Lee. Now, of course, this is under Heritage Cup rules, as usual. Although I did find it pretty interesting how this match turned out. Like, yeah, it was kind of crazy, but kind of not crazy. So, Dragon Lee had Nathan Frazier in his corner. Noam Dar had Oro Mensah in his corner, which was kind of weird because I thought Oro Mensah declined Noam Dar's offer previously, so not sure why he was there now. It was kind of weird. It was really, really weird. But Heritage Cup rules match. Definitely a solid match. So it went all the way to 5 rounds. It went to round 5 before the match was officially over. And the way it went down, Noam Dar got the first pin on Dragon Lee in round 2. But then Dragon Lee bounces back in round 4 and gets the pin on Noam Dar. And then round 5 was the deciding round, as from an assist of not only Oro Mensah, but also Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, this gave an opening for Noam Dar to hit Dragon Lee with the Nova Rolla to get the final pinfall, the 1-2-3, because Heritage Cup rules are 2 out of 3 falls. And Noam Dar with a successful defense of the Heritage Cup on American soil. And you know what? Goes to show that the ladies and Oro Mensah were on Noam Dar's side the whole entire time. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Was this going to be Alicia Fox all over again? I don't know. Maybe. But Noam Dar's got allies. and it worked out in his favor. Now, before we continue with the rest of this review on Battleground, here's a little quick PSA message detailing the sponsor. As you continue to watch and enjoy Blitzball Champ gaming content here on the U to the Tube, be sure to check out the link in the description for Game Beauty, our sponsor. For an awesome lineup of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products, here is Game Beauty. They offer many different collections such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, and even this special Persona 5 Royal limited edition makeup collection. They also have free domestic and international shipping to most countries for orders over $60. And you can use the promo code BlitzballChamp and you get 10% off of your order for any and all purchases. So be sure to check out Game Beauty when you have an opportunity. Now, we shall return back to our regularly scheduled video. Enjoy. Okay, our next match was the last man standing match between Ilya Dragunov and Dijak. Now, I must say, this match was definitely hard-hitting, and my only complaint is I wish it could have lasted longer. It went over the 15-minute mark, but I think it would have been nice if it went the 20-minute mark, personally. Especially with it being a last man standing, you know, that special stipulation. But, I mean, these two flat out destroyed each other. I mean, Ilya Dragunov, that dude can take some bumps. And that dude can take some pain. It looked like his chin got busted open. But, man, Ilya Dragunov, man, he's really good at, like, taking the bumps and selling the blows and the pain and everything. That is crazy. Really, really crazy. But it went back and forth, and even surprisingly out of nowhere, Ilya Dragunov hit Dijak with a torpedo, and just didn't matter what it was. I mean, getting hit by steel steps, getting dropped on steel steps, Ilya Dragunov would find a way to just bounce back, endure all that pain, and sure enough, he ended up being the last man standing, being able to get up to his feet. And Dijak couldn't beat the 10 count. And Ilya Dragunov is your winner. Just very impressive. I mean, that dude is like a war machine. That guy can, like, take some hits, dish out the damage, and come back for more. But that's Ilya Dragunov for you. But that was an insane match. I just wish it could have gone 20 minutes. But still a good match overall. Still a good match. Okay. Let's move on to the next match. We have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champions, Gallus of Mark Coffey and Wolfgang defended against Julius and Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers. Now, of course, they had Ivy Nile in their corner. Gallus had, of course, Joe Coffey in their corner. This was a decent match. This was definitely a decent match. I like both tag teams. Definitely went back and forth. You know, a big turning point, though, was when Ava Raine came out and attacked Ivy Nile. That was a pretty big turning point. That helped give an opening for Mark and Wolfgang to hit their double team finisher, which I forgot what that's called, but that fireman's carry running knee strike into kind of like a F5 or flapjack sort of slam. It's a nice combo. It's a nice combo. I just forgot what they call it. But Gallus is your winners, and they still retain the NXT Tag Team Championships as Mark Coffey pinned Julius Creed. But definitely a decent match. Definitely a decent match, and Gallus still reigns supreme as your tag champs. They'll probably be tag champs just a little while longer. Probably a little while longer. But I think they're good tag team champs. Okay, next up, it's time to go back to the ladies. We had our finals for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Came down to the final two competitors of Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a fan of Tiffany Stratton. Never have been. Probably never will be. But I will say that this was an awesome match between both of these ladies. And you know what? These ladies did excellent. It was definitely back and forth. I really liked how Lyra Valkyria was selling the knee damage. I still think they need to give her back the Peripataya finisher, because that spin kick just... They could do something better. But both of these ladies looked solid. This was an excellent match. But Tiffany Stratton was able to put away Lyra Valkyria with the BME. I mean, she pretty much did a BME. Best moonsault ever. Very well done. And pinned Lyra for the 1-2-3. And Tiffany Stratton is your new NXT Women's Champion. So, the title's back on a heel champ. Or, the title is back on a heel now. So, even though I don't like Tiffany Stratton, I can understand why they pulled the trigger on this. So, it does make sense. It was also, they did a segment where apparently this upcoming Tuesday on NXT, they will reveal that mystery attacker that's been attacking a lot of the different ladies throughout NXT. I'm thinking it's Blair Davenport. Some people are thinking it's Mandy Rose. I think it's Blair Davenport, but we will find out soon. Maybe it's Stevie Turner. I doubt it's Stevie Turner, but we'll find out soon. And then our main event was a rematch. We have the NXT Championship on the line in this rematch as Braun Breaker challenges the champion, Carmelo Hayes. But of course, Carmelo Hayes had Trick Williams in his corner. But this match was good. This match was pretty good. Definitely went how I thought it would be. Both competitors showcased really well. Braun Breaker extra aggressive, which is totally understandable. But yeah, this was back and forth. It really could have gone either way. But realistically, the right call was made. And Carmelo Hayes was able to retain the NXT Championship. He eventually did hit the nothing but net onto Braun Breaker. Pinned him for the 1-2-3. And Carmelo Hayes, still your NXT champion. But decent main event. But I have to say, probably my favorite match. It's kind of a tie between the North American Championship and the NXT Women's Championship. Those two were very solid. So I have to say those two were my favorite. And like I said, I don't even like Tiffany Stratton. But those two matches were my favorite, for sure. But Wow. Can't believe I am finally caught up on all the pro wrestling. Man. It took a while, but me having Memorial Day off, I was able to catch up, get all of that in. So, good stuff. But anyway, that'll conclude this Pro Wrestling Talk video. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty. And also, let me know what y'all's thoughts are on both of these shows, Night of Champions and Battleground. Did you enjoy both shows? What did you think of the cards, the matches? What did you think of the outcomes? Let me know what your favorite matches were. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, my name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace out.